Alright guys, this is Troy Francis with another video. We are in Mexico City in the Zocalo area, right by the cathedral. This is where the opening scene of Spectre was filmed. If you remember when Daniel Craig as James Bond was on top of that building and they were doing the Day of the Dead festival and the buildings were all crumbling and collapsing underneath him and he was running over the tops of the buildings and all that. Well, it was here where that was filmed, okay? And I came down here because I thought, for a start, I've been to Mexico City a few times and I've never actually been here because we usually hang out in Palenque and Roma and Condesa sometimes, pretty upscale neighborhoods. I'd never actually been down here, which is the historic center of Mexico City. So I thought, you know what? I've got an open day. I'm going to do some filming, go down there, do some filming, get some great content. It's going to be amazing. What happened? Well, what happened was I got down here and there is just a massive like political demo going on because they've got the elections coming up, I think next week. So if we just move the camera a little bit, you'll be able to see. Hopefully you're able to see a little bit of the carnage that's going on below us. Loads and loads of people around. You know, I thought it was going to be great. I could walk around the square. I could record a bunch of content. Nice location, awesome. And my plans were completely derailed. And instead, I've been sort of wandering around, not getting much service on the old phone because there's so many people down there. I think the networks are compromised, and just wandering around and thinking, well, what the hell do I do now in terms of filming? Anyway, I came to this rooftop place because I thought it would be a good place. I hope the audio is all right. It may not be, but I'm doing my best because it'll be a little bit quieter. And it is a little bit quieter up here, but it's obviously not perfect. But what can you do? This is life. And so what I wanted to reflect on was the necessity for making do, really, and just acting in accordance with, you know, whatever happens, you've got to make the best of it. Now, okay, being a content creator, being in Mexico City, turning up and there's a massive political demonstration going on, these are luxury problems, right? I mean, I'm living a life beyond my wildest dreams. That's an expression that gets used a lot in 12-step recovery. They say when you recover from addiction, when you clear the wreckage of the past away, and you start to live a clean and sober life, you will live a life beyond your wildest dreams. Now, actually, traveling around the world, making content, seeing all these different things, having a blast, that is a life beyond my wildest dreams, okay? And look, I mean, the fact that I am sober has enabled me to do that. But anyway, I'm digressing somewhat because what the video is really about is, look, you've got to take life on life's terms. That's another 12-step little saying, by the way. And you've got to make the best of it, okay? So you want to record content, you come to a place, and the place where you want it to do is just not ideal for whatever reason. Okay, fine. Either don't make the content or change the kind of content you're going to make. That's a very specific example, I admit, and it may not be relevant to maybe you watching this, but to put it into a dating context, okay? You have to just roll with the punches in dating. And sometimes you might have to do things that are slightly outside of your comfort zone, or not your comfort zone, just you might have to do things that are outside of the textbook, okay? So I've got a couple of examples of this. One time I met this girl, okay? I was in America, I met this girl in a nightclub, or like a night, it was a bar actually, but you know, like a nighttime environment. We got on really well. We'd exchanged contact details, and great, all good. And then the next day we're messaging each other. It's all looking pretty good, etc., etc. But she's traveling with a couple of friends, okay? She's traveling with two gay guys that she was mates with. There were some other people sort of around as well they knew in the city. And I was saying to her, well, look, let's meet up. Let's meet for a date. Or I didn't say that. I said, we'll meet for drinks. And she's like, yeah, no worries. And we arranged the venue and everything. And then a little bit later, she messages me and she says, oh, by the way, just so you know, my friend's going to be coming. Or my friends, plural, are going to be coming. Now, the textbook thing to do with that situation is probably not to go on the date, to be honest, because ideally, you don't really want to be going on a date where there's a bunch of other people there, okay? And if a girl says to you, you know, you kind of agree a date, there seems like there's a vibe there, and then she says, oh, I'm going to bring my friends, that's usually a bad sign, okay? And usually it's something you don't want to entertain, because ideally what you want to do is meet her one-on-one, you guys get to know one another, and it's all good, okay? And then you proceed from there. What you don't really want is to have other people in there messing up the vibe. And remember as well, the problem with friends coming is that you've also then kind of got to get them on side as well, okay? So it might be the girl quite likes you, but the friends don't. And then what's she going to do? Well, she's really likely to side with the friends, isn't she? You know, or, you know, if the friend just takes dislike to you, and that could be nothing to do with you, right? That could be nothing personal about you. It could be that they're jealous of her, or they don't want to spoil the vibe of their trip by having her hanging out with you, or, you know, whatever it is. So normally, it's something I wouldn't entertain. But in this case, I thought about it and I was like, well, I'm here for a short time. I'm not really going to get a chance to see this girl again. I may as well just do it, because otherwise I'm going to be sitting at home with my deer in my hand. You know, there wasn't anything really else on the table. I was like, you know what? Let's just do this. It'll be fine. Maybe it'll be kind of fun. And I knew that my main job really initially would be to get the friends on side. So I'm waiting in this like club venue, really good music. I was really enjoying the vibe anyway. So I was like, okay, fine, we'll come down and we'll take it from there. So she turns up and she's with the two friends, these two gay dudes. Both of them from Latin America. One of them is Venezuelan, I think. The other one, I forget where he's from. And as I say, you know, so obviously the first thing I need to do, I greet her, having a good vibe with her, but I also need to ensure that I get these guys on side as well, because they're her friends, and obviously she trusts them, and they want to make sure she's okay and everything else. So I'm bantering with the friends, we talk about this and that, we talk about the music, we go to a different venue. It turns out that they're quite well connected in the city. It was Miami, we were quite well connected there, so they take us to this other place. It's like this Latin, like, after hours place. We're there, they're getting the drinks in, we're dancing, we're having a blast, and the whole thing was great. And then, you know, afterwards, said goodnight to them. The next day, meet up with the girl on her own, and, you know, we continued to then have a good time together, sort of solo, just me and her. The point of the story is that sometimes things happen, curveballs get thrown in life, and you have to just roll with it, okay? You just have to expect the unexpected, and sometimes just go along with it. Now, I'm not saying that you do that to the detriment of everything that you know and everything you believe in. I mean, obviously, if something happens and it's completely beyond the pale, if somebody says something to you, if somebody says to you, okay, I'll meet you for drinks, but it has to be at this death metal concert, and I'm going to have 15 of my friends there, and you hate death metal, then I wouldn't do that, because it's just incongruent with yourself, right? You know, you're not into that music, you're not into that scene, it's not going to be a great place for you guys to get to know each other, etc., etc. But other times, you know, you have to be a little bit flexible, and you have to kind of think, well, all right, this might not be in the rule book, this might not be in that top 10, you know, tips that my favorite guru posted on Twitter. It may be kind of against the rules, but you know what? In this instance, I think this is the best course of action, and I'm just going to go for it. And the other thing as well is, you know, life is made up of experiences. Life is very short, and sometimes, even if you don't win, you're still going to learn, okay? You're still going to get something out of that experience. So I've talked a bit recently about outcome independence with clients of mine, because you've got to be outcome independent in dating anyway, right? Because you never really know what's going to happen. I mean, you meet someone, you think there's some attraction there, you think there's a good vibe, good connection, and then it just goes wrong anyway, okay? And that's just how things go. So rather than being so fixated on a specific outcome of like, right, I've got to meet this girl and we've got to be alone together and this has got to happen and that's got to happen in order for me to feel happy, in order for me to feel whole, instead think, I'm going to do this experience, let's see what happens. If it goes well, great. If it doesn't go well, oh well, at least I got a story to tell. At least I've learned something from it. At least I've experienced something in the richness of human existence that I wouldn't experience if I was just sitting at home with my deer in my hand, okay? So, do I regret coming down here today? I mean, to be honest, if I'd have known how chaotic it was going to be, and how busy and how not really, very good for filming it was going to be. Would I have come? Maybe not. But now that I'm here, and now that I'm experiencing this, and just seeing the vibe and everything, seeing the energy, it's actually really cool. It's an interesting thing to have happened. It's an interesting memory. And if this video ever comes out, if the audio is good enough, then I've maybe pulled a lesson out of it that might help somebody else. So all in all, it's a win. It's a plus, okay? And that's all you've got to think of in life, because life is as I say, very, very short, and it's made up of the memories that you create. And so you might as well create memories that are interesting, okay? You might as well just do things that maybe you weren't expecting to do, but could lead to an interesting outcome. I hope that kind of makes sense. I think this is applicable in different areas. We've talked about dating. It might be applicable in business as well, you know? I mean, sometimes somebody throws a curveball. Somebody says to you, oh, I've got this idea for something. And I'm quite good at just pushing those things off and just, oh, yeah, whatever. But actually, sometimes the unexpected thing, the black swan idea, is the idea that is really exciting and really takes off and really takes you to a good place. So openness is important, flexibility is important, and just doing whatever seems to be the best thing to do in that particular situation. Super key, just trust your gut. You don't have to trust online gurus the whole time. Trust yourself, right? Do what you think is a good idea in the moment. And if it doesn't work, take the lessons from it. And if it does, great. Anyway, with all that being said, thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in any coaching with me or talking over whatever issues you're facing at the moment with this dating stuff, then drop me an email, troy@realtroyfrancis.com, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye-bye.